Hey everybody, Jim the Tabletop Engineer here. You're probably looking at an unusual angle, and I apologize. I'm having to make more room to do the project today. I'm also sort of standing apart from my laptop, so I'm going to do my best to watch for y'all's comments and such. But hey Bethany, hey Ron. I hope the video and sound quality is okay. I've got it on high-speed internet. I've got the microphone. Everything's in focus, appears. All right, excellent. All right, so got a lot to do today, or at least a lot to get started on. What I'm going to be doing today is tracing this onto the 30-inch by 30-inch. Now, I hope you guys, let me see if the microphone can move. I went ahead and got everything done. All the surrounding pieces, edges. The only thing that's left to do is I have to trim some of these foam pieces so you can see some missing pieces down in here that I've got to do. And also on the other side, I've got to do the inside of the column. So this is pretty much as far as I want to take it right now before, because I want to get started on this part. So here's what's going to happen. This is going to be placed, in the center. I'm going to trace it. And then also at the four walls, one over on the other side, 2, back wall 3, front wall 4, are going to be these columns. I'm still debating. I didn't realize how big this centerpiece was. I mean, it's great and it's going to be really fun to play, but these on the sides here don't quite work for me. So what I may do is I may move them to the 4 corners. I think that will be visually a little more interesting. And it also, if you'll notice, if I put this here, there's only about 2 inches between the front of the stairs and the column. So even if I move it way far back, that's about 3 inches there. But if I put it over here in the angle, I've got lots of room out here to put rubble, debris, or whatever. So I think I'm gonna go with the corners instead of the walls. So that said, what I'm going to do is I need to center this first. So, and I apologize, you're going to be watching me walk around in my workshop getting things like rulers and pins and other stuff. So I've got, this is 30 inches. Or if I remember right, from this edge to the other edge is 30 inches. The centerpiece is 12 plus 6 is 18. It's approximately 18 inches. So really all I've got to do to center it, I don't have to be exact. I'm going to try 30 minus 18 is 12. So 6 inches this way would put it right here. Let me go over here and see if it's 6 inches from the edge here. 5.5. So obviously I've lost a little bit. Let me scoot it a little bit. From here to the edge is 5.5. From here to here is 5.5 approximately. So that's that means it's centered this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here and over here. Just stepped on something that broke. Oh, it was a mini base. Oh well, didn't need that one. And I'm going to draw a line over here. That will help me center it this way. Now I need to center it this way. So I'm measuring from the front of the stairs to the edge. Here it is 5.5 exactly. Wow, how did I do that? 5.5. Here it is 5 3/4. So all I've got to do is shift it up just 1/8 of an inch. All right, so, or maybe it was 1/4 of an inch. I can't remember. So that's 5.5. And this is 5.5. So there we go. That is centered. Boom. Nice. So, and it shifted off the line just a little bit. So assuming that everything that I did my measurements right, and before I go gluing anything, not gluing, I'm going to trace. I'm going to verify. That is 5.5. This is 5.5. This is 5.5. And this is 5.5. All right. So now what I need to do is trace around it. And this is going to be, I'm using blue ink, but I'm covering this with those tiles. So the blue line will be covered. I'm not worried about it. And the reason I'm tracing is, obviously, I don't want to put any tiles on there that will interfere with gluing this flat onto the big 30-inch by 30-inch base here. And I'm going to give myself about 1/4 inch leeway all the way around. I think that's it. Let me just double check. Okay. All right, we have an outline of the centerpiece, but I also want to do, who else is here? Oh, hey, Richard Phillips, greetings. I am going to place these in such a way that they I'm just going to eyeball them. I'm not really super concerned that as long as, I don't know how to describe this. I know it's geometry. I just can't explain the theory. As long as the leftmost point here and the rightmost point here on the base of the column is touching approximately the same distance in, this is 45 degrees. I can't explain why that is. I know that there's a proof or theorem for that. I just remember it. If you have a straight object and you force the leftmost and rightmost points to touch a 90-degree perpendicular edge, this is 90 degrees, you will end up with a 45-degree. Just trust me on that. It's one of those things. I know I've forgotten how to prove it, but I know it works. All right, there's one. Come up here. And I'm gonna do it. And if they're a little off, I'm okay with that. They shouldn't be so off that it's extremely noticeable, but we shall see. All right. Point there. Point there. And I'm just drawing a square around the bases here because I don't want to tile over this section either. I want these to be glued by the base to the actual foam base here. All right. All right. There we go. Nice floor mats. Yeah, they were stolen from my kids. I think we had them upstairs. They're soft, and the kids walked around on them when they were little. I repurposed them. All right, so I have made a whole bunch of bricks of different size. I've gone ahead and made one batch here that's all shaken up and damaged. And I have another batch in here that's ready to go. And then I have a few more on the tabletop that have not been damaged yet. And I'll get to those if we get to those. So we shall see. So today, it's all about gluing. So what I'm going to do, guys, is if y'all would like, if you want to be on screen and just chat live, type in webcam on the chat, and I'll invite you, and you can stay up on screen. You're going to see this, and I'll just chat with y'all as I glue. It's going to be kind of boring. You like my shoes? I forgot I'm barefooted. Do not ever work barefooted in your workshop. That was one of the rules you learned in college, and I'm feeling free to breaking it. I'm breaking it, but I probably shouldn't. All right. So if you want to be on screen, just type webcam. If you don't, no big deal. But I'll check the screen in a minute to see if anybody wants on. But I'm going to go ahead and get gluing here. And I have a chair. And I have my glue. And this is kind of that part I was like, oh man, I'm sort of dreading this part, but oh well, we'll keep going. All right, let me see. Can y'all scoot it in here? All right. Can you see? I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to see the outline. I guess you can see some of the blue outline, not all of it, but it's there. So again, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start in the corners and work my way out and then work my way towards one another. So I'll have 4 sections that I'm gluing. All of these pieces are of different thickness. I don't know if you can see that. They're of different size. I've got everything from really big pieces to really teeny tiny pieces like that. And then any gaps I'll fill in later. And let me move the microphone because I don't know. Can you guys hear me okay? The microphone's not right in front there. There we go. Hopefully the sound quality is better. All right. Let's start gluing. So those of you who were here when I did this last time, you'll remember that what I do is I just reach in and I grab something randomly. I try not to think too much about it because inevitably what happens is you'll create a pattern, and you do not want patterns. You want randomness. So if you're going to try to recreate this kind of thing, don't force everything into place. If you end up gluing something that creates a gap, that's okay. You can fill in the gap later with smaller bits. So again, all I'm doing here is just plugging away, very boring stuff. And what we're going to end up with is one of those really cool, all right, like there's a gap. Can you see that? I don't know if you can, let's see if I can, let's see. Can you see there's a gap right there? It's a very small rectangular gap, and there's nothing inside it. And that will have to be filled later because I don't have a piece that's going to fit exactly in that. And I don't want to be cutting today. Today is all about gluing. Just glue, 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 and lay down the pieces as you can. And the other thing is you kind of want to make sure you get different thicknesses of tile. That's what really gives it that interesting floor plan that everybody's so far has said they really like the look of. And I can't take credit for that. I got that from that image that I'm basing this diorama off of. That was a pure, just luck into finding and my trying to emulate it, which probably isn't exact, but it's close. Oh, I can tell you I am going to run out of tiles because I thought I made plenty last night, but nope. Covering the tiger today. Yeah, some of it. Sorry, the computer's not close to me, so I have to kind of squint to see it. And another gap. That's okay. I like gaps. They're visually appealing. When I finish this group, I'll hold this up to you so you can see it. I am using tacky glue, but it's tacky enough that it will hold. It should hold everything. And you'll see how things are working. I may leave some of those gaps open. I just haven't decided yet. Some of those gaps will be painted black down in there, and it might look like a tile is missing. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. So let's see. I've got 5 people today. Nice. Man, gaps are just arrow slits. Yeah, but not in the floor. Not on the floor. This thing, this thing is coming together. I mean, it's wrapping up pretty quick. I mean, painting may take a while. I don't know. But I am so pleased with how fast this, I think what happened was obviously being able to work offline and not show y'all everything. If I show you how to do one and I'm going to make 5, I don't need to show you me making all 5. That really wasn't the case with the Dwarven Fortress because so much of that was unique. I mean, it was a big structure and every side of it was different. But fortunately, with something like this, so much of what I'm making is repeatable off camera that I really appreciate y'all letting me do that rather than force, not force, but rather than ask me to show everything, because showing everything is what slows you down. And this project is moving much, much quicker than I anticipated. So we're going to be to the painting phase pretty soon, I think. Oh, this floor is going to look so awesome. I'm like, just this little stretch here, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see this whole thing covered that way. By the way, I'm leaving about a 1/4-inch gap between the line I traced and where I start the bricks, and that's on purpose because I'll have to find, I'll have to custom cut those. But there are certain elements that are going to be glued onto the thing once it's on there. If you can go and if you can find that picture, you know what? Today when I get off here, I'll go on Facebook and I'll post a picture of this as it's done. But I'll also post a picture of the original diorama that I'm basing this on, and you'll be able to see that around the perimeter of the centerpiece there are these stone structures that I haven't made yet. And those will get glued on once this centerpiece is actually glued down and in place. I hope everybody is having a good day and staying healthy. We just got wind yesterday. My wife and I, a good friend of ours here in Atlanta, their daughter found out she has coronavirus. Now, she's not showing any symptoms, which is interesting, but they're having to quarantine her. They're having to quarantine her for 14 days, I think. Yeah, 14 days. So poor girl is going to be stuck in her room for 14 days. They're going to bring food to her and stuff. Both parents are working, so they really can't risk. They got tested and they're negative, so that's why she has to be kept secluded. And man, I just can't imagine. Cannot imagine being in my room for 2 straight weeks. That would drive me crazy. But she'll be fine. She'll get through this. That's that one's, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to break my own rule here, but I need to stop doing that. I was trying to fit a piece, make it fit, but then I realized don't do that. That's what gives it that random. I was trying to not make a pattern, but I was trying to force a piece where it didn't want to go, and that's where you end up making something that doesn't look right. Just need to keep talking to y'all and stop thinking about where I'm putting pieces. You know what? I'm turning that sideways. Sometimes you'll find 2 pieces are the exact same width, like I just did on that. So you have to rotate it. Otherwise, you end up with a square that looks like it just has a seam in it. It didn't look right. All right. Can y'all, let's see. I promise when this project is done, I'm going to address, there we go. I'm going to address my filming techniques. I need a bigger work table. Over here, you can't see it, but my normal work table, which is to my left, it's a big work table. Unfortunately, it's always got junk on it. And I need to clean it off, and I need to pull it away from the wall so it's in the center of my workshop so that I can get cameras from any angle. I promise I'm going to get working on that. I just haven't done it yet. And it's just one of those things on my to-do list that I never can seem to get around to, but it's driving me crazy now, so I know I'm going to do it. All right. I don't know how that one got in there. That was very weird looking. All right, we got a comment. Ron says, just a bit tired from the weekend. I'm an amateur entomologist, and my daughter and I were night looking for moths. Oh, cool. An entomologist. Interesting. Do you work for the state or for a university, or how does that work? I've got about, I don't know, 30 or 40 bricks to glue down, and then I'll take a break and show this to you so you can see what it's looking like. And this time I went with some longer pieces. I didn't do anything like this on the centerpiece, mainly because I just saw it as not really, it would be, you might end up with it going over the edge or whatever. But for the floor, I added a larger variety of shapes that I cut last night. I spent like, I don't know, almost 30 minutes to an hour, somewhere in between, just cutting foam bricks. So let's see. No, just an amateur. Been doing it since I was 10. Oh, okay. You did say that. I'm sorry. You said you were an amateur entomologist. Oh, I glued over I wasn't paying attention, and I went over one of the squares here for the column. So I gotta remember that. That wouldn't have been a big deal. I could have pulled it off since I'm using tacky. I'm just glad I saw it before I got too deep involved. And then if that glue had dried, I would have had to cut it away with a knife, and that's kind of a pain. Tacky glue, when it dries, it holds foam to foam very well. You will be forced to use a knife to separate anything like that. All right. How do I do this? This one will go right here. More gaps. All right. Well, I don't like that one. That one's damaged. Or that one's it looks like I broke it with my finger, so it doesn't look natural. Isolation. Just give me a porta potty of Diet Coke and Cheetos and lock me in my game room. I'll be okay. Hey, Jedi Jim, welcome. You know, we say that, but man, think about it. 14 days. I mean, if my wife said I had to spend 14 days in my workshop, I'd say, oh, that's awesome, because I can think of all the things I would do. But ultimately, at the end of those 14 days, I would probably discover that I didn't do half, maybe even a quarter of what I planned. We all make big plans. Probably what I'd end up doing is sleeping in the corner and trying to sleep away the 14 days. I would do some work, but man, I mean, you think about it, 14 days in quarantine away from your friend. I mean, I guess she could talk to her friends on phone and stuff, or FaceTime or what have you, but golly, I mean, 14 days in a room without any, I mean, maybe they'll let her out into the yard, for sunlight. I'm sure they will, but they'll have to be very careful because, they have a son who's not infected, and they have, like I said, both parents work. They're going into work. One's a teacher and the other one works in a bank, and they cannot afford to be sick. I mean, that's what they told Ashley and me. So we hated to hear it, but that poor girl, I mean, ugh. I think my wife or I, or both of us, have already had it and we were asymptomatic. I think about all the people we've encountered and all the places we've gone. And I mean, it's possible we were just really, really careful, but I got to think that since March, we've avoided it. But I guess maybe you guys have too. So maybe it's just not that big of a thing to be healthy. But I'm just surprised that no one in my immediate family, my in-laws, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, their kids, none of them have caught this. And I'm grateful for that. But I'm just kind of like, how did that happen? Because none of us, I mean, I wear masks when I go out, but I'm sure I've touched a door and forgotten to wash my hands or use hand sanitizer. It's got to be, I don't know, I guess I'll just be grateful that I haven't caught it yet. And I say yet because we've still got to get through all this. And my kids' school starts in 3 weeks. And yes, their school is still planning on opening day 1. Now, what they're doing is they're doing something called pods, where they're breaking the classes down into like half so that they can spread the kids out where they're not sitting in every seat. And then what will happen is the kids will go, they'll only go to half of their classes on one day, and then the other half they'll do on day 2. And it's weird. I'm already kind of, my head's swimming thinking about it, but the kids, they figure it out pretty quick. But I'm still nervous about my boys going back and being around, other kids. And I got to be selfish here. I'm scared more for myself because I don't have the best lungs since my experiment with SARS back in 2004. And I definitely, my lungs are not where they probably should be. So I don't really want to catch this thing. And my wife doesn't either. So I'm hoping my boys will wear their masks, wash their hands a lot, keep away from others. We're almost done here, guys. This is looking good. Oh, it's looking so good. I can see what the whole thing's going to look like with this thing on there. And now it just makes me want to just keep going. Maybe today I'll finish it. Maybe today I'll just do all of the tiling. That's a lot. I can take lots of breaks, though. I can take breaks. Another very flat piece. I see some comments up there. Give me just a second to wrap this part up, and I'll take a look at your comments. One thing I've been pondering, and I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do it, is painting this and the centerpiece, how to paint it. I have an airbrush. I have not gotten my airbrush out to really use, and I'm thinking this might be the time I need to do it. Just because I can't use spray paint because it'll melt the foam. So I got to come up with some way to do it. And painting by hand I can do. It's a lot. There's a lot to do with a brush, and you've got to wet the paint down, the black paint down, so it gets down in the crevices and stuff. But golly, that's going to be. But then again, an air what do you call it? Airbrush is an airbrush has its own issues as well. I mean, you can't fill that pot up, but very, just a little bit. So you have to keep putting it in there, watering it down, mixing it. I guess you could mix a big batch of it and pour it in. That would be one option, but still kind of a pain. All right. Well, this is it. This is the last one for this batch. Then I got to get some more. All right. So let me hold this up so you can see, and I'll check your comments. How long was she infected? They've been living together so far. They're probably she just got infected. She went out with some friends, and within a day or two, she was, I guess, staying at a beach house or something, and she wasn't feeling well. So they got her, took her to the hospital. She stayed in the hospital for a day or something because she had a high fever. They tested her. She was positive. Then they did the blood work on all the family and brother, who was not thrilled. And they turned up negative. I don't know if that will stick for 14 days or not, but like I said, they've got it to where she is having to quarantine by herself. Welcome, Brian. Brian says teachers aren't really excited about it either. I'll bet. I feel bad for teachers. I wonder if the numbers are really greater than any other viruses in history, or if our media has made us so much more aware of what is happening with the same population. It's, Jim, I don't know if we'll ever know. I do struggle with the media. I think sometimes the media loves this stuff. They love the what's that Dirty Laundry song by Don Henley? They love dirty laundry. I mean, if there's something bad going on, they live for that. Now, I mean, I know I'm generalizing there. There you go. But I do feel like a lot of journalists and a lot of the media are just blowing things. They either blow it too far out or they don't report it enough. They can't win. I'll be fair. The media can't win. They're not helping, but they also in some ways do help, in the sense that they bring us, they make us aware, but sometimes I think they make us too aware. And that's all I'm going to say, because I try not to get political on my Facebook and all this stuff. So Eric says, I have no idea how I haven't gotten it. Be careful, but still, lucky chance, thankful we're lucky. And Ron says, need more bricks. Yes, I do. Yeah, Eric, I am so grateful, man, that you are healthy. Because for those of you who don't know, Eric is a postman, and he's in that truck in the coldest of winter and the hottest of summers, delivering the mail. And man, you got a tip of the hat, Eric. You do. You need to move to South Carolina, so you only have to deal with the heat, not the cold. Mac will appreciate that I put that little dig in there for you. All right, got to shake these up, and I apologize. Mute your microphones or speakers if you don't want to hear this. It's going to get real loud. All right, let me get my mask so I can pour this out, and then I will get some mask. Don't ever shake up foam parts without a mask. I'm going to dump these over on the table over here so I can get the rocks out. All right. Yeah, that did good. All right, one second. I'll be back with y'all. We'll keep going. So it looks like I've got enough brick to do three of those corners. I just did corner number 1. This will be the amount for corner number 2, and I've got enough over here to do corner number 3, and then I'll have to cut some more. So let me go ahead and put these all in. I apologize, I'm a little muffled. I've got the mask on, so I have to breathe in all this XPS foam powder, but until it settles, I can't really clean it. All right, next load is ready to be shaken up, and now it's time to glue. All right. Okay. Now the real question is, you know what? I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go this way instead of doing here and growing them together. The reason being is the more I do as a patch, the more I'm going to be able to visualize what the whole thing's going to look like instead of being splotchy. So, nice dig. Sorry, Eric. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to turn this so you guys can. I'm going to work right here, and I'm going to work this way. And yeah, let's do that. And after I get off the phone, after I get a break today, I've got to run to the store because this is my last bottle of tacky glue, and I'm having to lay it on its side so I don't have to keep shaking it. It's kind of a pain. I swear, tacky glue, great stuff, but man, they need to make it in a bigger bottle. And maybe they do. I don't know. Bethany, do they make this in a bigger bottle? And if so, can you get it? Maybe you can coordinate with them to create a bigger bottle and you'll have a monopoly on it. Because I'm telling you, I would go 3 or 4 times this size. If somebody offered it, I would buy it. Or, maybe do they offer a refill? That's the thing. Do they offer a big gallon of this that you could pour it into your bottle? Because what I hate is these bottles, when they're gone, you throw them away. But this is a lot of plastic going in the garbage can. I would much rather refill my my one bottle over and over and over again. I'm gonna send Aleen's an email. I'm gonna tell them, look, you're not helping the environment at all. I'm going to tell them my kids are upset with them because my kids are pretty good about that. All kids, I think, these days are being made more aware of the ecology and the need to recycle and stuff. So I'm gonna send them a strongly worded letter. I have a 16-ounce bottle. This is 5 fluid ounces. Ron, 16, so that would be 3 of these. So it's definitely bigger than this, right? It does come in gallons. No way. Are you serious? Who said that? Bethany says it. Bethany, if you can get it in gallons, I will promote that every week. Get your Aleene's Tacky Glue from Bethany. I will buy a gallon, because then I don't have to keep buying these little bottles that don't last very long, and you have to pitch them when they're done. And to be fair, I've got like 2 or 3 of the empty bottles around, so I've kind of felt guilty about it. So I would just refill those. All right, time to stop talking and keep gluing. It's a few dollars cheaper on Amazon. There is a 1-gallon jug of tacky on Amazon for $30. You know what? I'd rather buy it from Bethany if she can get it. But if you can't, Bethany, no worries. I'll get it from Amazon. But I'd much rather try and get it from Bethany if it's something she could carry. I try to order like paints and things in large quantities from Bethany when I can, and that would be great. But again, Bethany, they may not be offering you the quantity that you need. You may have to buy it in such numbers that it wouldn't make sense for you. All right, where were the stairs? Right there. Okay, so don't want to get too close to the stairs. One case is 4 gallons. One case is 4 1-gallon jugs. You know what? Put me down for one. Don't order it yet, but if you can get like 3 other people, to buy from you, I'll go in on one. And I realize shipping, but I'll deal with shipping. And what I'll probably end up doing is ordering some other stuff for you, so I can just bulk order from you, because I need some more. I need another couple of the black folk art paint. Oh, and I do want to order some casting stuff. So let me get a wish list together for you. And but yeah, that'd be great. I would love to see people using the tacky glue, but buying it from in-gallon jugs. That would be much better for our environment. So I guess that strongly worded letter to Aleene's needs to go away, because obviously they've thought about this. Because I don't think there's any way you're going to be gluing stuff from a 1-gallon bucket. So obviously they intend to for people to refill. But and I've said this before, I wish they'd come up with something in the bottom of the glue that is gravity fed or spring fed, where what happens is it moves up as the glue gets used up, so that you don't have to keep shaking it like this to get the glue out. That may be a little more advanced than Aleene's is willing to invest in right now, but it would be a nice feature. All right. Gotta stay away from the staircase here. Now you'll notice I'm just grabbing them randomly. I just reach forward, grab it. I don't really look at the pile so much as just put my hand towards it and then pick up something. So I don't know. It appears to be random. I don't see any patterns in there. So we'll see. I have the black in stock. Yeah, put me down for one of the blacks. And I'll get the rest of my order list to you hopefully by the end of the week. Okay. This is the lonely part of crafting. If I didn't have you guys to talk to, I'd be listening to music, but this is the lonely part, the gluing and the painting. It's just it's a solo job. I guess I could ask my boys to come and help, but they won't. They're not into this, and they're playing their video games right now. All right. Got some bigger gaps in here than I intended. Oh well. That's part of the look of it, I guess. Other things will ship from manufacturer, but I have the paint on hand. Jim, I'm going to make something for you to help with your tacky glue problem. Okay, Ron, you've got me curious, but go ahead. I mean, this stuff is good. It's thick. I mean, it does not like to creep down the bottle on it. I mean, it will if you leave it upside down, but it just takes forever. And after a while, you're like, I'm so sick of shaking this bottle. One day I left a bottle on its side. I don't know if I did it intentionally or it just tipped over and I didn't put the lid on it. Came back the next day and I had a big, nice circle of hardened tacky glue. I mean, over 8 or 10 hours, it had slowly gone out. And I guess, if you think about it, where the nozzle is, that's a lot of glue. I think it was a fairly new bottle. I don't think I left it on its side. I think it tipped over accidentally. But I'm really bad about losing the lids to my tacky glue, and I don't have the lid to this one. So that's why it's just one of the things that drives my wife crazy. I lose lids. This is starting to look really good. I just want to see what it looks like when it's painted. It's just gonna, this is, now I've reached that part in the project where I'm just like, I want to finish this. I just want to finish it. It's a good thing I've got you guys, watching, because otherwise I would probably just like, if y'all said, just go ahead and finish it offline, I would. I would probably finish it. But I can wait a few more weeks. I think we've got a couple more weeks ahead of us before it's done. But I am ready to see it completed. What I'm really anxious for is to play a game on it. I got a group of friends here in Atlanta that we play Frostgrave, not regularly now, but we were. And they're all like, yeah, when you get that thing done, we're going to play on it. I'm like, yes, we are. All right. Let's see. Don't think about it too. Oh, can't put it there. That's over the stairs. Got to scoot this one to the far right. There we go. I almost messed up and glued something where it shouldn't. Wasn't paying attention to the, I guess you know what I'm going to do? Well, I was going to say I'm going to go ahead and surround these two squares, but I'll remember. No problem. Sorry, I just realized I was being quiet. Styrogoo. You know what? I like Styrogoo, but man, that stuff's hard to squeeze out. It's definitely thicker than Aleene's, and I mean, I'm not kidding. It's like you start squeezing that bottle after about 30 seconds, you're tired. You're sick of it. But yeah, the Styrogoo is great stuff. It's just so thick. It does not flow well. I mean, tacky glue will flow given time. I mean, if you just leave a bottle upside down, it doesn't look it, but it will, gravity, it will flow out. That Styrogoo, I think it would just stay up in the bottle if you didn't squeeze that bottle. All right. Now I'm going to go quick because I'm just going to throw things down and just hopefully they look right. Not really thinking about what I'm grabbing, just grab and glue, grab and glue, grab and glue. Need a fan down in this drawer thing. Styrogoo. All right. Man, 45 minutes has already gone by. Okay, so assuming that that will take an hour roughly. I haven't done this. 2 hours. Figure 3 hours in all. 3 hours max. If I weren't talking to y'all, I'd probably go a little quicker. But if you're going to do something of this size, give yourself 3 hours. Now, if I'm skipping that large section, so if you were covering the whole thing, I would figure 5 to 6 hours, probably less. But yeah, and a lot of foam bricks. This is a lot of foam. So let's see. Oh, sorry I had to cancel last night's. Today's Monday? Yeah. Sorry I had to cancel last night's live mini painting. Our neighbors wanted to have an out in the cul-de-sac, gathering of the kids to keep them sort of away from each other, but to sort of, we played cornhole, and we played, didn't play chase, but some of the kids did play chase. It was last minute, and we didn't want to say no. And my wife would have gone out there without me, but I felt kind of bad. I was like, yeah, they're my neighbors. I need to go out there and say hello. So it was from 8 to 10. And I was like, really? We couldn't have done this from, say, 6 to 7 or 7 to 8. But you have to remember, here in Atlanta, 7 o'clock, it's still like 90 degrees outside. So I get why they wanted to do it when it was cooler. It just was not convenient for my hobby, my gaming obsession. But I put on a smile, and I went out there and had a good time, all the while thinking I could be in there painting a mini. And my wife knew it too. She's like, you want to go into your workshop, don't you? And I was like, yeah. She knows me. So Thursday, let's talk about Thursday. Thursday. Okay, well, before I do that, I guess I need to ask you guys, are y'all okay with me covering the rest of this, offline, without showing you? I think you get the gist. And I think another 1 to 2 hours of this is going to drive anybody crazy. So with your permission, I see one sure, I see another yes. So good. I think you guys are okay with that. I will finish this or go as far as I can, because the idea is that on Thursday, what I'd really like to do is glue down that centerpiece. I guess I could have done it today. Is there a reason why I didn't glue it down today? Why didn't I glue it down today? Oh, I know why. Because I was thinking I'd want to paint it separately. But you know what? Now that I think about it, it's like, no, I don't want to paint. I just want to paint everything at once and then glue on the columns later. Or, well, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But I think what I'm going to do is Thursday, I think I'm going to go ahead and have the centerpiece glued down. The quandary. All right, let me think. Do I want to go ahead and glue it down? Yeah, because Thursday, what I really want to do is to do the perimeter and start doing those special pieces that go all the way around. And I haven't quite come up with a solution for the top of the columns on that centerpiece. So that'll buy me another few days to ponder on that. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and let me finish these. That one's gross. I'll finish these and glue the glue the centerpiece down, and we'll call that. I'll keep moving forward on the flooring, and then on Thursday when you guys join me, it should look pretty stinking good. I think it's going to look really slick. I don't know. We'll see. Now I'm getting nervous. I'm like, oh, do I really want to glue it down yet? Yeah, I do. I want to glue it down. I want it fixed, and I'll have to come up with some better way to do the camera work before Thursday. I'll come up with something so that I can be in the video chatting with y'all and not off camera. And I promised to wear shoes on Thursday. That's one of the great things about working from home. I don't work in my PJs. I'm not that kind of guy, but I will work barefooted. I do not like wearing shoes in the summer. Never have. Never have. And I am a flip-flops guy, which my wife hates. And I get it. I think, I get it. But I do like wearing flip-flops. But I also know my wife doesn't like it. So sometimes I do it to irritate. Sometimes I don't do it because I'm, trying to be nice. And when I say irritate, playfully irritate, not being mean about it. All right, that is the second batch of bricks. All right. Let's see. There we go. You can see the gaps, obviously, where the black. You can see the black panther or pink panther through it. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to look interesting. All right. So, gluing this down. Yeah, I mean, there's no point not to. Let's do it. Let's do it. By the way, I don't know if you can see under my fingernail there. I shoved a piece of, I was cutting plastic card for an upcoming video, and it went up under my fingernail, and you guys have done that. I know everybody has had stuff shoved under their fingernails like that. This was like a day and a half ago, and it still is just like, it hurts to put pressure on it. So anyway, enough of my griping. I'm procrastinating because I'm still nervous about gluing this down, but you know what? I'm gluing it down. Now for this, and of course I'm going to need more tacky glue now because this is going to take a lot of tacky glue. Let me set this aside. Because to do this properly and to ensure that it never comes off, I'm going to have to finger smear and do this whole thing. How much time do I have? Oh, we got 8 minutes. We got plenty of time. And I'm running out of glue. So I'm just going to follow the line. This is going to take a few minutes, so apologies. What'd you do today? We watched Jim run a bead of glue for 3 straight minutes. Sound of styrofoam it's like fingernails on it. All right, there's the outline. Now, come on, here we go. I'm just gonna don't run out. I don't think I'm gonna run out, but it's getting pretty light in there. Why didn't I go get some this weekend? I didn't think about it. But what I'm going to do when I get done with y'all is I'm going to hold this bottle in my hand when I go upstairs so I don't forget. I need to go get tacky glue. All right. Oh, man. Whew. And I'm not done yet. That was just round 1. All right. Round 2. Because you really, like I said, you really want to have a lot of glue holding 2 pieces of large foam together like that. And hot glue won't work because hot glue will leave a nice big thick gap between the flat of the board and the bottom. You'll have a gap, and it might even make it sort of wonky, like angled, and you do not want that. So I'm willing to do it right. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah. Takes that initial couple seconds of getting over, like, yuck. It's like, yeah, I can go wash my hands, so it's not going to be permanent. Just feels so sticky. Yeah. All right. Then you have to put some weights on it because you really want to make sure it doesn't because there may be a bend to the bottom of the. I mean, the bottom here could have a slight warp in it. You just never know. All right. Don't waste any glue. All right. Doesn't really matter which is the front or back. Put it down. Put it down. Make sure it's all squared up. It looks good. It looks good. All right. There you go. And again, sticking a table saw. Oh, golly. Have you? Yeah, that's right. I forgot about Brian's little injury. Yeah, I should shut up. All right, folks, there it is. I'm gonna do some more foam cutting. I'm tired of gluing right now, and I'm low. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna glue anymore right now, but will run to the store in a little while and get some more tacky glue. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll shoot a photo of this, put it up on Facebook, along with my, inspiration photo image so you can compare it. But yeah, the floor, it's going to look good. It's going to look really good when it's all covered and all the gaps filled, and especially when it's painted. I think the painting is just going to be, I mean, it doesn't weigh much. I mean, it does. It's got some weight to it, but not heavy enough that you would worry about carrying it. I'll be able to carry it sideways once that tacky glue is really dried. So this is nice. It's like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel now, because all I've got to do is finish the floor, put the 4 columns in the corners. I'll have to deal with these tops, figure out what I'm going to do there, and then paint. So I tell you what I'm going to do. Thursday, I'm going to have the tiling done, at least 85, 90% of it. I'll have that done, because there'll be some I can't do until I get the columns glued down. I'm going to get that done by Thursday. On Thursday, what we're going to do is we're going to tackle the pieces that go around this outer wall here. There's one that goes on here, and then it goes in the corner, and then it goes on these angled pieces. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 in all. 12 of those, and they're basically cutting some unique shapes in foam. And I'll do that on the Proxon. I'll experiment. So what I'll probably end up doing is like I've been doing before. I'll do 1 or 2 of them, show you what I'm thinking. Once I get the design done, I'll glue those in place. And then offline, I'll finish the other 10. And then on Monday of next week, maybe we can paint. Painting is going to be, I think it's really sad. I think black bombing it is going to take a whole session. I think gray dry brushing is going to take a whole hour. So I spot you an hour and you don't have the whole base dialed. Come on, dude. Yeah. No, this right here was like, I don't know, almost an hour. And then I glued this down. So it's a lot. And this was with the file or the foam squares pre-cut. So yeah, I'm going to basically do all this offline so you guys don't have to suffer. And Thursday we'll deal with the sides, maybe the top of the columns. I'll come up with some solution for that. And then next Monday we paint. We're not riding. We don't ride. We paint. All right. I'm procrastinating. It's 2:00. I need to go run some errands, and my finger is killing me. All right, folks. Pull the camera up here. There we go. I've got to come up with some better way of, and it's all wonky. The camera's all bent now. Great. All right. No. All right. I'll just come down here. No, then you can't see. All right, guys. I'm getting tired and I'm getting hungry and I'm getting a little silly. So let's call it a quits for today. Thank you for joining me. Remember, Mac McClellan has his paint on the desk tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to participate, I should be there tonight. And let's see what else. Thursday, I'll get the session set up on Crowdcast, so you can go ahead and pre-register, so you'll get a reminder notification on Thursday. And that's all I have for you today. So everybody have a great afternoon, great Monday, and I'll see all of you on Thursday, okay? Take care.